municipality, individual, or anyone or anything.
He's a surgeon. He's a 100-ton boat captain. He's a lieutenant on Seaside Heights Beach Patrol in New Jersey. He's a member of the Coast Guard Auxiliary. He's Dr. Michael Kachmar. Need answers to your medical questions? We have them. Listen in to hear latest on medical topics related to all that and more.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Michael Kachmar. Welcome to our show today. Today is October the 5th. No, is it 5th? No, the 5th. The year of our Lord, 2024.
That's right.
And I'm Dr. Michael Kachmar. This is our medical podcast. I'm a practicing foot and ankle surgeon over 30 years.
Reconstructive
foot and ankle. And we do this. We've been doing this for 6, 7, 8 years. Anyway, well, thank you for tuning in. And we have Jeremy. You want to say hello, Jeremy,
Hey,
today?
guys. How you doing? What's up?
What's up? So anyway, we're going to do a quick show today. We just want to go over a few things. But again, if you guys want to get a hold of me, my name is Dr. Michael Kachmar. You go to my webpage, JerseyShoreFootandLegCenter.com or drkachmaricon.com. Jeremy will have it up on the screen
Eventually.
So anyway, a couple things today. Today, Trump is going to have a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, that's where he got shot. That's going to be probably very huge. I think that's going to be an interesting thing. A lot of news media are going to be there. Also, October 7th is coming up, and that's the anniversary of the horror show that happened in Israel. And so who knows what's going to go on there. Yeah.
That's a year already?
Yeah. Yep. It's been a year.
God.
Yeah. I was, you know what, and people, all these young kids, they think that the world will never be bad again. What those terrorists did was medieval, and Pol Pot and
Dark Ages.
Yeah, and they did that. They did that in Cambodia after the Vietnam War. Pol Pot in the killing fields. They just didn't kill people. They tortured them. They did this despicable things. And the same thing in Mao in China. When they had the Cultural Revolution. They just didn't kill people. They mutilated them. They torture them. And human beings could be really nasty. So anyway, and actually Mao used to say that the way power is at the end of a barrel of a gun. So the people, the idiots in this country who say why we got to ban AR-15s, why do we need AR-15s? Go talk to the poor. If more of the people in Israel had guns, they may have been able to protect themselves. Right. And I think that. Listen, I'm all for Israel and I support them, but one of the problems is that they didn't allow people to have guns. Their gun laws were getting more stricter and stricter. And now everybody and their brother's carrying AR-15 in Israel.
See, that's just like the kitsch word that they gave everybody. This is the name of the gun, AR-15. That's the one we're all gonna.
Well, it's a semi-automatic. I know.
No, I know, but I mean, there, you could get any other kind of gun.
Yeah, but you want a semi-automatic, right? Exactly.
That's the hot topic.
But I think the point I'm making, going back to the point is that Israel had such strict gun laws, or they were, and of course I don't, and then look at this. So now I bet you it'd be a long time before they rescind that. They were giving out AR-15s. At little malls, if everybody wants one, they could have one.
Yeah.
So now you got
AR-15s for tots. I heard about it.
All right, so we're gonna get into a couple things. So now, we have this whole thing about the Haitian immigrants, and I got to laugh, because Trump's a genius. He's actually a marketing genius. So when I was listening to one of his rallies, he's like, "They're eating the cats. They're eating the cats." I'm like, "Don't say that." That's like, And then now it went around the whole world. Everybody is talking about. And I saw a commercial the other day on the internet. It's a bunch of cats, right? And they have hats on, red hats. It says, "Make America safe again." and then there's another one where there's a bunch of cats sitting like on the stairwell. And you could hear Trump in the background. Yeah. They're eating the cats, and the cats, like their expressions, like, ah.
I saw a YouTube video of police arriving to a scene, and there was a person like chowing down on a cat.
Yeah,
and they're trying to get the cat away from the person, and they're grabbing it and they're gnawing on the thing.
I don't know how true that is, but the point is though, the thing is, it's the genius of the marketing. That's my point. Yeah. And Trump has that ability. to do that. The other thing that Trump does that I think is very interesting, because when I worked down in the Caribbean for many years, and even when I was a younger man, we had nicknames. Everybody had a nickname, right? Joey Bag of Donuts, that. Oh. And Trump does that
with
every.
Yours?
Different ones, because when I was a lifeguard, I was like Sam Elliott, yeah. But like down in the Caribbean,
I was always Vic.
I was a doctor down in the Caribbean, so they all thought I had money, so they used to call me Money Mike,
Money Mike.
But everybody had a nickname, and Trump does that with everybody. That's not so much in this country. Maybe when you're younger in college and everything.
Probably helps them remember people.
No. It's a big thing in a lot of parts in the world. People have nicknames, and it's pretty funny how it flies out. So anyway, we're gonna talk about a couple things. I want to talk about these Haitians. So here's an interesting article. Go to my iPad, please. So this article here is in Newsbreak. This is the Associated Press, which again, I take all these articles with a grain of salt. I tell everybody, there's a lot of AI and there's a lot of misinformation out there, but this is interesting. I've been down to Dominican Republic. So here, Dominican Republic will deport up to 10,000 Haitians a week, citing excess of migrants. Now again, but if you understand, Haiti is connected to Dominican Republic. They're one big island, but there's a divide. The difference between the two countries is that Dominican Republic has a standing army. Yeah. Haiti doesn't. Haiti's like out of control right now. There's gangs run the whole country, and so their own brothers, their own next door neighbors, they don't want them there. They don't want them, right. and they haven't wanted them for years.
What's that picture?
It's people in like a cage.
Oh, that was a Kodak moment.
Yeah, who knows what that is? But here it is. So Santo Domingo, which is the capital, Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic announced Wednesday that it will start massive deportations of Haitians living illegally in the country, expelling up to 10,000 of them a week. Government spokesman told reporters that the government took the decision after noticing an excess of Haitian immigrants in the Dominican Republic, which shares the island of Hispaniola in Haiti. I could go on and on. It's a great article, but I think it makes a point here that we're talking about the Haitians in this country and a lot of illegal aliens. I mean, illegals. They are, and I don't care if what the Biden administration has done or didn't do to classify them. But here's an interesting thing: and it's not just the Haitians, and because it's more than when people say, "Oh, the Haitians," or the Mexican, whatever, they say, "Oh, you're racist." I mean, it has nothing to do that they're black. It has nothing to do here. Just so people understand, the Dominican Republic, vast majority are black. Yeah. Haiti is black. So it has nothing to do with race. Why are they deporting a group of people that they don't want in their country? Because a lot of times they have different values. It stresses the system. It stresses the schools. It stresses the social service, the hospitals. You understand? So it's not always racist. And again, I'm very sure Haitian people are just as nice as Dominican Republic people. But when you have, poverty over there and you're influxing a tremendous amount of people, you can't absorb it. So wake up, America. So that is something that is interesting to look at from that perspective. You have any thoughts on that, Jeremy?
No, just like with the Haitians, what springs to my mind is like the voodoo and all of that jazz from way well back.
Yeah,
But that's really all I think about when I think of Haitians. I never really think about racism or anything like that.
No. I tell you, the thing with a lot of the people from South America and I would the Caribbean is also, I kind of consider in that same thing. They're very religious. They're Christians. They're big time Christians.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. South America, the Caribbean, Tortola, St. Martin. There's a lot of Christian. A lot. The natives, the native people of those countries are very religious. They're very good people. They have a lot of morals. I worked in Tortola for many years, and they would come in, very good people. So. And they knew more about the United States than I think most United States people knew. What's that? I can't.
No, it looks like it's just spam.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that is pretty interesting. Again, I don't know, I didn't do any backtrack on this, but I know that they do have a wall, they have a wall, they have they don't let the Haitians in, so it's pretty crazy. So you go back to me.
Yeah, sure.
So on that note, with regard to the people coming in here, there was this I know, I checked this. This is
the Haitians hearing you speaking, and
they're probably pissed off at me. Yeah, who knows? No, listen, let me make my point very, very clear. It's not Haitians are bad. It's not Polacks are bad. It's not Jews are bad. It's not Muslim.
If this situation was happening anywhere else in the world, it's still the situation we're dealing with.
Right. And
not race, not
color.
And
not here's the
creed.
thing. Here's the thing. If let's just say the Haitians are, say eating whatever, that they're put in a state that they came here. Yeah. The government flew them in, whatever they did. And there's not enough resources. You're going to eat whatever you're going to eat. You're starving. I'll eat you, Jeremy.
I'm having hot dogs tonight.
We're going to put you on the friggin' grill.
Yeah.
So
keep yours on leashes today,
and it's not right. It's not right that they brought all these people here, and then they they're trying to see. Here's the thing. This is where it gets crazy. They bring them in, and now they're trying to help them out. But they shouldn't have brought them in. You can't. You got to go back to the beginning.
These are Kamala's people.
Right. This was a bullshit move with this Biden administration.
You mean our border czar?
Right. Yeah, and her. Yeah. Right. Both of them. So here now, you got if you have a town of 50,000 people and you bring in 20,000 of people who don't speak English, who maybe have a third grade education, and it's not their fault. They're not stupid people, and a lot of them could contribute to this country unbelievably well. I mean, my grandfather was an immigrant. That's not the problem here, people. So you understand me. Is it's too many, too quickly. Too many people coming in who need a lot of resources, and unfortunately, a lot of these people are going to have to be, sent back, go back. We can't assimilate it, and I think there should be, a lot of people are probably going to stay too. And and it's not fair for the people who go through the legal process of getting into this country.
No,
it's not fair for them either.
No.
So there's justice, there's fairness. So getting back, the reason why I pull up this article is because Dominican Republic, which is right next to their country, don't want the Haitians. I would ask the Haitians, if anybody's giving me a hard time now, tell me why Dominican Republic is pushing them out. And because it's the same.
Does anybody want them?
Yeah. Well, listen, they didn't want the Jews back in the day. World War II, there was boatloads that nobody wanted the Jews. Yeah. It's nothing, and
I think that's circling back now anyway.
Yeah, well, but again, my point is that this country right now, we can't handle that huge influx. Having said that, I got another article here I want to talk about. Go give me this. Go back to my thing here.
Yeah. So
let me go here. So this is an interesting thing. Now this is. This is White House. This is an article out of Fox News. Maim outrage over data showing how many illegal immigrant criminals are in the United States. Now this is been in the news. These numbers here, I don't see any reason to doubt that this statistic is accurate because everybody's talking about it.
Holy
so this is non-detained, non-citizen convicted criminals. These are people who came into the country, whether or not they're legal or illegal, because they could play games with that. You got convicted of homicide. These people have been in their other countries convicted of homicide, 13,099. Convicted of sexual assault, 15,000. Okay, now but all the criminals, you put all of them together. So you got about just under 30,000 of heavy-duty, real serious criminals. And then on top of that, if you put all the criminals that came in this country, almost 500,000, 425,000. Okay?
Oh my God.
Now, how many?
How do they do this?
How do they do it?
And make half of our country okay with it?
It's propaganda. It's people. Well, first of all, I tell you how. Because a lot of people in this country are very nice people. Not even naive. No, I wouldn't go that far. No, what they are is they are, accommodative. Yeah. But here's the thing. These people are are not going to change. You know, these people are probably going to kill again, going to rape again. That's just the way it is. That's the reality. And
but don't you also agree that some citizens and this
I'm going to put the video on in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, this goes for anywhere in the
yeah, you can't do that, Jeremy.
Disappears.
Yeah, you can't put that.
It's an accident, Mike. It can't be helped.
Yeah,
It's not bigger.
So anyway, what were we going to say?
Well, I mean, anywhere in the country, you know, things are going to happen, and you know, it is a vicious circle, though. I mean, these things are going to happen. They're going to happen again and again and again. We never learn from our mistakes.
Well, we better.
You know,
we better. So let me just play this thing here. Go back to the iPad. Yeah. See, I'm going to just play this here. Let me see if the sound comes up. You may have to make it louder. Let's see if it goes through.
Well, a disturbing development on the border crisis. Wait until you hear this. The Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirms that more than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
Unbelievable, huh? Isn't that crazy?
Letter here tells the tale. Hello, I'm John Roberts in Washington. You believe this, Sandra?
Which means they are here, and this is just an unbelievable development.
Again.
I'm Sandra Smith in New York.
This is making no sense.
Reports. Let's get right to Bill Malugin. He's got this news for us. He's live out of
let's just listen. Here, listen to this now, and then we'll
where Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit later this afternoon. Bill, the details of this news. What do you have?
Yeah, and Sandra, bear with me. We just got these numbers moments ago, but it's a jaw dropper to say the least. So to set the stage here, let me just explain what these numbers mean. ICE has something called a non-detained docket. Essentially what that is it means migrants who were encountered by DHS but are no longer in federal custody. So who's on this non-detained docket? It's illegal immigrants who were caught and released at the border, released with the court date years away. They're in immigration proceedings, combined with illegal immigrants who have already been ordered, deported from the country by a judge, but are still here roaming the country. So keep that in mind, this non-detained docket. According to a letter that the acting director of ICE just sent to Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez, on ICE's non-detained docket, they're currently tracking 425,000 non-citizens who have been convicted of a crime. Of that number, over 13,000 non-citizens have convictions for homicide and are on the non-detained docket, meaning they're roaming the country right now. On top of that, there are another 15,811 non-citizens convicted of sexual assault who are roaming the country right now on ICE's non-detained docket. It doesn't stop there. Those are convictions. The ICE director also says there are currently just under 1,900 non-citizens on the non-detained docket who have pending homicide charges who are roaming the country, and another 4,250 non-citizens who have pending sexual assault charges who are roaming the country on the non-detained docket. So people's eyes might be glazing over right now with all the numbers we just threw at you. Just to put it in a nutshell right here, what we've learned from the acting ICE director via this letter to Congressman Tony Gonzalez is right now there are over 13,000 illegal aliens convicted of homicide who are roaming the United States right now. There are another 15,811 illegal aliens roaming the country right now who have been convicted of sexual assault, and there are even more who are facing charges for homicide and charges for sexual assault. So this just goes to show, guys, the non-detained docket has exploded under the Biden administration to over, I believe it's 7.3 million. They're anticipating it could hit 8 million by the end of the year. But looking at the numbers on this letter right here, there are currently over 600,000 non-citizens on ICE's non-detained docket who are either convicted, or
600,000. All right, that's enough of this. I can't deal with it. All right, go back to me.
What you had to tell us a little.
Go back to me, Jeremy, please. So here's the deal. I'm going to put this in perspective. First of all, that's just criminals. Now that's good. They're going to, impact the criminal justice system.
No,
because these people are going to be committing crimes. But hold that thought. Hold it. Now that's not talking about how many of these people are insurgents, are trained insurgents. I've listened to podcasts. They're saying there's people out there, Eric Prince and other people who ran Blackwater, saying there's tens of thousands of bad guys here, insurgents who've been trained, insurgents.
I thought you were saying
who are trained trained to do what the people did on October 7th to Israel. You know those guys who flew in and shot everybody up? Mm-hmm. They're trained. They're trained how to kill people. That's what you're going to have here. You're not going to, so they're here, and, they're getting guns, they're getting ammo. Then, how many of these people, illegals that came in here, were not vetted for medical problems? How many of them have tuberculosis, diabetes, syphilis, cancer?
Oh, any number of sexually transmitted diseases.
Well, but it doesn't matter. I'm just talking everything.
You name it.
But cancers.
Everything under the sun.
So, and here's the thing, Jeremy. These people are going to impact the medical society, the medical system, the hospitals, the urgent care centers. Okay, it's also somebody's got to pay for that. So now, and other thing too is a lot of these people, they can't drive. They've never driven a car. I dealt with these people over the years. I'm telling you, some of them very nice people, but they don't speak English. They got a third-grade education, right? And driving a car, they never drove a car. So now they're driving cars, and to them, whether or not they're going to listen to the speed limits and all that, we are overwhelmed with what's going on here. And I don't understand why our government did this, other than the only thing I could think of is
well, let's talk about exactly what they did. We saw them. They were catching and releasing. So they're catching and releasing these people, a lot of them,
right?
And apparently they have all the statistics. They know exactly what their past has been like and what they've done. And then once caught, and once all of these facts are noted down, they release them into our country.
Right.
Now, no sane person would do that to their people. Okay.
So why are they doing it?
So why are they doing it? It speaks of something malevolent. I swear to God, because nothing in my brain, right, can rationalize seeing tens of thousands of murderers and sexual assaultists or rapists caught at the border
and then released,
and then just released back in.
Well, let's go back to Barack Obama, who everybody loved. Was the greatest president ever in the world. He said we're going to fundamentally change this country. It's too white.
Well, you did though, didn't you?
So that's what he's doing. Despite everything
Bravo.
else,
you did it.
So I think it's continued on with Barack Obama's vision of changing the country. Although Barack Obama and his wife, are billionaires, they have mansions all over the place. So I say to Mr. Barack Obama,
because it's a country that they want to create, but it's certainly not one that they really want to live in.
Because
they have their own security guarded places of like paradises to go to.
Well, what happened is he has a place up in Martha's Vineyard, Barack Obama, and they sent the illegals up there. You see how fast they got rid of them? Listen, why don't they fly him into Martha's Vineyard? So fly him, let him go. But they won't. So so why, you asked the question, why are all these people here? Well, I think they're going to vote. They're hoping they're going to vote for them, which is, also I think that, also the businesses, the companies who sell widgets, these people are going to buy I guarantee you, every one of them has cell phones. So
something that
they're consumers. They're consumers.
In this country, you still need to be an American citizen to vote, right?
Legally, yes, that's the thing.
Okay.
But there's no way they don't check it. The state of New Jersey does not check it. So you could walk in there. There's no way to check it.
Dude, the fix is freaking in, Mike.
Right.
We bring this stuff up all the time.
Right.
And it's maddening how obvious and tyrannical these things are.
Right. Well, anyway, so let's go. So the reason why is meltable, but the ramifications are also immense and predictable. So bringing them into this country, they should have had a policy. Now everybody goes back and says, well, they had a policy and Trump cut it down. Well, first of all, Trump didn't do shit. Trump's not a president of the United States.
The best thing that ever happened to the Biden administration is Trump.
Right, but
because he is literally their trump card. They blame everything on him.
Right. But here's the thing:
anything to do with it or not.
No, the bill that they tried to pass, I didn't read the whole thing, but I listened to multiple congressmen who talked about it.
Crib notes.
It would have opened up the border 9 times more. It would have not socialized. It would have been approved. I think up to 5,000 people a day.
Now,
so that wasn't
how
anything.
How bad do you reckon this would have been if we didn't have those big sections of the wall up?
I don't think there's any. I don't think it matters right now because the wall, it could be. You could have you could have the wall completely built. If you have the doors open, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And also,
no, but my point is
it wouldn't matter. They're flying them in, Jeremy. They're flying in hundreds. Supposedly, they're flying in hundreds of thousands of people. So they went. They don't have to go through the wall. They flew them in, Jeremy. They're paying.
It's almost with. Do
you understand what I'm saying?
In a hurry, they're doing all of this.
Well, right. They did it. Well, everybody. It depends on who you talk to, but you're talking, tens of millions. The government says 10 million. Other people say 15 million. Other people say 20 million. I don't know, and I don't think they really know completely. But there is a bad scenario here, and
they don't know. Wait, they don't know the exact number of people that came in. But they know the people that did come in, what their criminal records were?
Because there's probably more.
You see what I'm getting at, right? I mean, that's just insane.
Those numbers there are probably deflated because that's not everybody that they contacted. Make another point, Jeremy, is that there's also another statistic out there that's banging around. There's about 300,000 children that are can't find them. They're lost. Okay, 300,000 unaccounted for children. They don't know where they're at. So that's another statistic I've seen. Where are they? What happened to them?
How many of these sickos were grabbing random children, bringing them across?
Right, for a family, right.
To sell off to freakos in America.
Let me tell you something. The two places...
Like that whole children, sex cult and trafficking thing. Hey, how many of these kids actually belong to the families? Right.
Well, if you look at Europe right now, they're hurting from the mass immigration, and they're putting kibosh on it. I just saw Norway, Denmark, France, and England. They have too many too soon, and they're changing the social fabric, especially like in England. There's a tremendous amount of Muslims that came in. I'm not saying Muslims are bad, but here's the thing. How many pubs? You're from England. How many pubs did you have in England, say 30 years ago?
Oh,
every corner.
You're tripping over them.
Okay, well, Muslims don't drink. It's against their religion.
Pub crawls were just ridiculous.
So now
it's more of a pub step.
Well, now they're all closing down because the population don't drink. Yeah. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? It's probably a good thing because alcohol. A lot of people die from it. But my point is that everybody has their social personalities. And they do things. So gotcha. So and Italians came here. Not every Italian assimilated to completely, but they did appreciate the United States. I'm just saying is that I think
most of the foreigners, if you really think about it, and you really just take a step back and look at it, like the Italians all lived in the same neighborhood. The Mexican, the Irish were all in another.
And they were considered garbage. They were considered low life.
Nobody immediately tried to meld in with this country. They all broke up and segregated.
Well, eventually
themselves.
You will. Eventually, yeah. But here's the thing: immigration is good. Legal immigration is good for this country. I agree with 100%. My grandfather came here. Yeah. But illegal, unvetted immigration is
dog
bullshit.
Eaters.
And so we know that. I think even anybody on the left or the right is going to say that. Now, there are some people who believe, like the EU, United Nations, and AOC, on they're democratic socialists. They believe in no borders. They believe that borders are illegal, against humanity. And they live in a friggin', they're crazy. So having said that, I think the vast majority, the vast majority of people in this country believe in legal immigration, and it's good. But they do not believe, and they do not appreciate, and they would not support unvetted, open migration, open borders. Right now, it's they're just flowing in. So, and I think that going back, why did this administration go against the American people? Why did this administration? Because we voted for these people. This is a constitutional republic, so we give them the power, and we hope that they do the right. They didn't do the right for us. Whatever their motives are, I do not in their heart. I can't go into Biden's heart or Kamala Harris, but the reality is, the fact is that we got all this shit put on us. And so what you do now, we have a chance to vote, and I tell people out there, you better vote for Trump, because if she gets back in, because she's in now, the voters are going to be completely, it's going to continue on.
You're going to see the biggest flip-flop.
Well, they'll try, you know what they'll do? They'll try to deport, what they'll do is they'll try to deport the criminals the best they can, but they're still going to let the borders open and more will come in. And I'll tell you another thing about this immigration, okay? One other thing is there's layers to this. I just told you how it impacts the hospitals. It impacts the drug overdoses in this country, which are about 150,000. Yeah. That's directly related. I don't give a shit. I look at the statistic. It's directly related to the open border policy, because you have so much fentanyl coming in here. And I'm telling you, every week I hear a story of somebody, one of my friends, the son, the father, whatever, daughter, dying of a fentanyl overdose. And they're not like heavy-duty drug users. Yeah. They're recreational drug users, and they got spiked with fentanyl. It's out of control. If you look at when Barack Obama got in and they opened the border, fentanyl deaths, heroin deaths started going up. Trump, he went down, now it's going up. I do not believe, show me stats where it's not related to the border. So that's another thing about this whole border. We're killing ourselves. Yeah. I just was at a funeral the other day, and a buddy of mine said, we had a mutual friend who died. We went to the funeral, and he goes, I'm in bad shape. I had to put my dog down, which is a traumatic thing. Our friend died, and then his other friend, son just died, 32 years old. Did drugs in the past, got clean, just had 3 kids, just had a baby, right? Used to smoke. Used to sniff cocaine, right?
Like you do.
And he was. Listen, I don't. I've never done it, but I know. And he's feeling stressed out, and he told his dad. His dad, told him, "Don't do it. He went and got some cocaine. It was with fentanyl, and it was dead. Jeez. But it goes on and on. So there's another. So Harris and Biden open border policy is killing so many people. It is. It's responsible. I shouldn't say it's responsible. So that's another thing. So the hospitals.
The thing is, if you're addicted to cocaine, you're not going to stop.
We're not even addicted. No, Jeremy. Some people just do it occasionally. You're
going until you finally get that fentanyl one. It's like a Russian roulette.
Oh well, but some people haven't done drugs for 3 years, 4 years, and they decide to have a little. Let me make another thing. I was at one of my hospitals I'm on staff at. I'm not going to say what hospital. This was last week, and I went into the ER.
Which hospital, Mike?
I can't say. I'm not going to. No. It looked like the scene from, like, you ever seen, like, Gaza now? Where they show where people are, like, gurneys laying all around. Yeah. There was not one room where the girls sit, reception. There was beds, gurneys up there, wheelchairs. It was a sea of humanity. I've never seen anything like it in my life. The hospitals are getting inundated, right? And the ERs. First of all, Affordable Health Care Act in this state, Barack Obamacare, there's no primary doctor, so they go to the ER for any little thing that they have. They use that as the ER as their primary doctor. Then you have the regular people, with trauma, injuries, and sick. Corona, some of the corona fired up a little bit. And then you got all the illegals now. And these people are sick, and they're coming in with exotic diseases. So you have a huge impact. I see it, and it's so bad, and the hospitals are so far behind. By the way, we'll do a show on Affordable Health Care Act, which is the biggest friggin' bullshit thing in this country.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
Because I can tell you right now, when Barack Obama Care came out, it was the Democrats who pushed it through. Republicans had nothing to do with it. And there was maybe 10 to 15 million people who didn't have insurance. And they could have been easily taken care of with Medicare or Medicaid. We're going to talk about that. That was a big money grab, and now you got corporate medicine in there. What?
We're going to have to...
One more. Let me just go here. I want to show this real quick. What time is it, Jeremy? I'm getting called by the director here. We got this. One other thing. Opinion. This is the Bergen Record in New Jersey. our mayor, Murphy. Blame Murphy's energy master plan for skyrocketing New Jersey costs. Okay, real quick, I just want to put it here. Look at this is bullshit. Listen to this. So now Murphy has a master plan. In 2020, Murphy directed the Board of Public Utilities to draft a new energy master plan called the New Jersey to be operating. So calling for New Jersey to be operating at 100% renewable energy by 2050. So that means no more fossil fuels, no coal-powered electricity, no gas heat, no gas-powered cars, no gas stoves. 2 years later, Murphy sped up the process by signing an executive order requiring the state to hit the 100% threshold by 2035. Never, listen to me, this is archive, put me back on here. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. 10 years from now, it's a bullshit. They're pushing the friggin' windmills out in the ocean. They want to put like 900 of them.
That is...
Let me tell you something. This guy is dangerous. This is the one who, during COVID, became a dictator. Talk about a dictator. Because it was a medical emergency.
Murphy, yeah.
Right, Murphy. Medical emergency. He disbanded everything. He became the king, dictator, and decided on medical policy. And I tell you, we had one of the highest levels of people dying in nursing homes. Anyway, I'm done. What time is it, Jeremy? We have to close.
We got about 5 minutes.
Anyway, so yeah, we got to go. So anyway, listen, everyone, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks,
right,
everybody.
Jeremy?
Yeah,
we had it. I get fired up. We'll try to do a longer show. We're going to do one on Affordable Health Care Act. Jeremy, can you put up this stuff? So if anybody wants to get a hold of me, just go to Jersey Shore Foot and Leg Center. You got to get rid of the other one. No. Jersey Shore Foot and Leg Center.com. I'm Dr. Michael Kachmar. I'm a board-certified reconstructive foot and ankle surgeon. And listen, we'll see us next week. Have a good week, and watch Trump's rally today at Butler.
That's right. If
All right,
you want to
Jeremy?
get in touch with Dr. Kachmar, please send a message to drkachmar@icloud.com. And as Mike said, if you have any problems with your lower extremities, Mike is the man. Go to JerseyShoreFootandLegCenter.com. Thank you, guys.